What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Fanatic Islanders, your home for sports and sports entertainment. Another Saturday, another good day to talk about sports. We got the usual crew. The usual crew is BA, and we got Prince, who isn't usually here, but you know he's come to give us insight on sports and sports entertainment. We got Lord Jalen behind the scenes on the mic.
Testing 1 2 1 2 1 2.
All right, Makari as usual, Kadera as usual, Kadeem not here as usual. Like I said, Kadeem's World. The link for Kadeem's World, his new podcast, is in the description below. Comment, subscribe to his podcast. We want to see Kadeem's career flourish. So support him, just as like you support the Fanatic Islanders all these years. And
Whatever you do.
Without further ado, let's get right to it.
What are we starting with? Random sports fact?
Yeah, random sports fact.
That's what we want to do? Okay, random sports fact for the day. Let's start off with the late, great Pele. The only soccer player to be a part of 3 winning World Cup teams.
The man with the retired feet.
That's why they call this man the GOAT.
Or should we call him Defeat?
That sounds like defeat, though.
Left feet.
Oh, left feet. Sounds kind of still close to defeat. But anyways, yeah, we can call him that. But yeah, man, there's still plenty people's GOAT. So respect, R.I.P.
Yeah, like people were saying, like I guess some people who was in the city when he died, just like the atmosphere was like completely different. Like the nation really felt it.
Yeah.
So, and an immense loss to the football world. But rest in peace, rest in power. Thank you for all the years that you've given us. Thank you for the advancement in the sport.
Mm-hmm.
And you will trust me, you will not be forgotten. Just like how his feet is in the museum, but you will not be forgotten.
No, man. I mean, from your feet, your literal feet, which, carry you and your team to 3 World Cup wins, I mean, are retired in a museum for the whole world to weep and recognize that you would have been the one to kind of pave the way for everyone that looks like you, to look like us in the world of soccer. Like, there's no amount of words that can kind of express the gratitude that we all should have, not only for the sport of football, for sports in general. So it only takes one to kind of break the mold and give us all the chance to do what we need to do. So thank you. Rest in peace, rise in glory.
Good.
It's a good moment. Good moment now.
Yeah.
Hit us with the next
Sorry
part.
to pivot and all, but we just have to do it.
Keep on rolling.
Let's go with the rant of the week. And we know who it's for. It's for Ron Rivera. Ron Rivera. Not only did this man not switch from a quarterback that was getting him wins, that actually had him in prime playoff position. They controlled their destiny. On the last at the last second, this man changes back.
LeBron James.
No, not the LeBron James. If he had LeBron James, maybe he would have won something. But no, he changes to Carson Wentz.
LeBron James might have been a better quarterback.
That's what they saying, dog. Carson Wentz. Oh my God, I can't even blame Carson Wentz for this.
No, this is
situation.
You can't.
Which is
No,
interesting coming from 2 Eagles fans.
No, you can't blame Carson.
Yeah.
Because honestly and truly, as a coach, you put your team in the best position it is to win. So you ride, like just like how we talked about with the hot iron episode.
Mm-hmm.
You ride the hot iron. Tyler Heineke, he wasn't your star at the beginning of the season. Granted, yes, we know that, and you're paying Carson Wentz X amount of dollars to do what you want him to do. But Tyler Heineke has you in the playoff position.
Even though he can't pass as well. Who cares?
No, but he had you in a position to actually make the playoffs.
He has the locker room too.
He has the locker room that you were riding momentum on his coattail. So at no point that made no sense to even switch. And what even upset me even more.
There we go.
Was the fact that Ron Rivera said, he didn't know that his team could have been eliminated from that game. Yeah. So you take in all variables. So at that point, you don't know that your team could have been eliminated. So why did you start Carson Wentz?
You don't know. I mean, I guess the media was telling them to switch. Maybe.
I don't think it was me. I honestly and truly, I think that has to come from higher up. That has to come.
You think
from,
so?
It has to.
That has to come from
That has to
ownership.
be a money decision because, like I say, based on
Wait,
how
what?
all of the players responded to Taylor Heineke, like even let's say the defense, like the defense loves that kid.
Yeah.
But wouldn't Carson Wentz get less money if he doesn't start as many games?
No, I don't
I don't
know
think
if
it's
it
gonna
was
set up
that
there,
kind of. I don't know if it was that kind of stipulation with it,
No.
but I know
But I feel like everybody I don't know.
Carson Wentz lost the starting job when he got injured. Fine, he still was your starter. He was still crowned your starter in preseason. But
Foolishness.
as the season went on, Taylor Heineke helped you get into playoff contention,
Exactly.
and for you not to, I don't even know what the explanation was
There wasn't any.
for not starting him. Like, I understand you secure it though. You win that game. If you win that game, you're 8-6-1.
Keep Green Bay
Right.
out of the playoffs.
You keep exactly. you keep certain teams out of playoffs, and then you have you in essence, like you said, you control your destiny. You want to be able to control your destiny at that point.
Yeah.
Now the entire NFC has to deal with Aaron Rodgers, possibly. Yes.
I don't think Aaron Rodgers can get in, but
No,
the only
Packers control their destiny.
Yeah, Packers. I think they win it now.
Seahawks.
No. Seahawks got to hope for...
Seahawks up though. Seahawks
yeah.
7.
Oh.
Seahawks in 7th right now.
No way, Packers in seven.
Packers should be in 7 now.
No
right?
way, Seahawks in 7 right now.
Why?
But if Packers win, they above Seahawks, though. I didn't know that.
Must be a tiebreaker.
Because if the Packers need the Lions to win, and then the Seahawks
Seahawks
need
need the Lions to win,
and
Green
they
Bay.
have to win.
And they have to
Okay,
win.
so Packers got the tiebreaker.
Yeah, Packers essentially winning it because I think the Lions had beaten the Seahawks. I think that's what it is.
Oh, it's all type of things.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
that sound no. That don't sound right.
Something off.
I know Packers control their destiny.
Okay, if Packers winning in,
Yeah.
but I'll say this, and no offense, or take offense, however you want to take it. The only fan base that's afraid of Aaron Rodgers in the playoffs right now is the Dallas Cowboys.
I feel like everybody should be afraid of Aaron Rodgers if he's playing air guitar in the end zone. If that man is having fun
The
on the
only
football
fan
field,
base
that is a
at the
problem.
moment who's afraid of Aaron Rodgers in the playoffs. Well, who's more afraid of Aaron Rodgers in the playoffs is the Dallas Cowboys.
So then be afraid of Jair Alexander. Ask Justin Jefferson.
Oh man,
No, but that's
no.
understandable though.
But they ain't playing a wild card team anyways. First round.
No, they're not. They should be playing. That 7 playing the 49ers.
You
so.
should be hoping to play the Vikings if anything.
Nah, Giants, Vikings look like a lock.
Yeah, that is. But I
That
just
should be an
saying.
interesting game.
So y'all playing? Who y'all playing?
Anyway,
Yeah.
let's leave that alone.
But
This
that's
is all Riverboat Ron's fault.
Oh yeah, I'm playing the Bucks. Yeah.
So
Sorry.
That's the rant. So Ron Rivera do better.
Yeah, he messed up the whole NFC, but
Like the whole NFC could have gotten it, but
you
like,
coulda sent in
bro,
14
as a
division.
coach, you need to take an account of every single thing that can possibly play out. It's playoff position. You're playing all single year. You're playing from September. You're preparing from March and all season. You mean to tell me that you don't know that you could be eliminated from one game?
Like, how is that not a part? How is that not a part of your pre-game speech?
That
Like,
should
hey,
be the
guys,
first. That should be the first thing you
we
say.
control our destiny now.
how is that not a part of a firing?
He may still be. He may still be fired.
I can't say what I was supposed to say.
Like I said, Carson Wentz could have won the game, but no, you don't make that switch then.
Yeah.
You don't make that switch then without no kind
I
of.
don't know what Carson Wentz showed in practice.
It's not even
couldn't
a
be
practice
much.
thing. Like Heineke probably lost. I think he lost a game going into that, or he lost. But like I said, that isn't enough to do it. That's a hey. It seems like hey, we paying this guy the big bucks. Give this guy the opportunity to get us there.
That's sick.
So, like, honestly and truly, I don't think Carson is going to be there next year. He's going to be used as a scapegoat for that, but it is what it is at this point.
Yeah, because I haven't seen much of a difference in the offense between Wentz and Heineke. One thing I will point out, fantasy football very selfish. Terry McLaurin was very much a serviceable wide receiver too with Taylor Heineke and was barely a flex with Carson Wentz. So, Riverboat Ron, fix your days, please. Cost me.
John Dotson look like he could be a man next year.
But I just realized all the Washington wide receivers short,
Yeah, I realized
The
that a
tallest,
while
one,
ago.
the tallest one is 6 foot. Like, they small, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're going for speed. They must be thinking smarter.
Probably. Who knows?
But that's your round of the week. All right, is that the official name you're gonna go with?
If somebody has something better, that's what we sticking with.
Comment. Let us know what you think the segment should be named, and we'll switch it to that.
Yeah.
That was your rant of the week.
Boom.
Oh, I gotta cut
We
that.
got ad lib for it.
Yeah, I gotta cut that. That could work. That could work. Yeah, that could work. But on to the meat and potatoes.
Mm-hmm.
Introduce the main topic.
Oh, the main topic. Why am I rubbing my leg? That's a weird introduction. But anyways, we are talking about injury-prone superstars today. You might know of them. You might have one on your team. Your team needs them to get over the hump. Will they be able to overcome these injuries, or will your team go down with them if they stay injured?
Find out next time.
You can find out right now.
Oh,
But
man.
But yeah.
superstars, no matter who they are, they give you life. They help propel your team. But there are certain players, whereas we know we're not getting a full season out of them, right? We know
You might get
that
lucky.
You may get lucky. We know that there gonna come a time where something may happen, a little bit of bad luck. They may be out for a couple weeks, couple months, but you'll get them back eventually if you're lucky. So it's like it feels like a lot of the time your team is playing, is trying to play good, and then when they come back, you're hoping that they propel you, like you said, over the hump.
Mm-hmm.
Anthony Davis with the Lakers is a prime example.
Yeah, that's
So like you play your team plays a certain way, knowing that this person is going to come back eventually, or knowing that if this person was actually here, we will be playing whole lot better.
Mm-hmm.
Look at Joel Embiid the same way, especially like early on in his career, which is kind of sad.
Yeah.
That's the whole phrase, trust the process became a thing, because you
That was
kind
rough.
of had to trust that eventually he would be all that he's touted to be. And granted, we've seen it, like we've all seen Embiid like be that dude, but you always have in the back of your mind, like, when is he gonna fall?
Especially because he hasn't won anything yet.
When is he gonna fall? And then the whole blow up with Ben Simmons and Doc, like the season that he was probably his healthiest, had the most locker room turmoil. So now it's just like, you just don't know, man. Sometimes injuries are more than just the physical.
Exactly. It's very serious. And I feel like, I don't know. The first thing I would say is, I feel like a lot of people say, well, he was injured. I feel like that's kind of a cop-out. I feel like being healthy is the number one skill you should have as an athlete. That is the number one skill. Because if you ain't healthy, yeah, the team will wait for a minute. They might wait for an hour, a day, a week. They ain't gonna wait forever, bro. Like, they can find somebody else eventually. So
The best ability is availability.
Yes.
So they say. So
you saw they even switch Joe Payton on it.
yo,
Even that happened, dog. So
they shipped out the sheriff.
yeah,
Speaking of shipping
that's
out,
disrespectful.
speaking of shipping out, I mean, if we go back into football, we got Christian McCaffrey. Like, everyone knows, if that dude is on the field, that dude is a problem.
Yeah, man.
But Carolina just couldn't hold on to the hopes of him still being there, so they sent him to San Francisco, which is extremely frightening. But
Yeah.
I'm happy for the dude.
It's a more reward than risk it is for San Francisco. So San Francisco knows who they're getting. The person that they're trading for, if he's there, like we said, if he's there, he 100% makes your team better. He makes your team better 4 times better. If he isn't there, your team, your team is still nasty. You haven't given away a sizable piece for him. You just give away some assets.
At this point, I don't care. I don't think they care which picks they give away. Man. They know the team's stocked.
That's how teams go.
That team is actually built pretty well. And I guess it goes to your point, Macario, in terms of like injuries or saying, oh, he was injured isn't really a viable excuse. Because as an organization, like if you build your team around certain players and you draft and develop and all that good stuff, like you have contingencies in place. I mean, obviously, if you look at football, like certain positions like quarterback, there's no real contingency for losing like a starting quarterback. Unless you just happen to be 49ers that could start 3 different quarterbacks, three completely different styles and still be the number 2 seed. I don't question it. But
if you're the Panthers and you running Cam Newton into the ground, like you caused that, bro.
And then just
that wasn't Cam Newton's fault.
She caused that. RG3 was another example. Washington caused
it's
that.
the running quarterback's fault. I don't know, man.
They run him into the ground. I'm afraid for Justin.
I feel like they've done a little bit of a better job with those type of quarterbacks, as in they're not encouraging them as to stay in the pocket no more. They're encouraging them, hey, do what you got to do to stay safe, right? So if Justin Fields was drafted a few years earlier, sad to say, he might have been told, hey, just stand in the pocket.
Man.
The man is just using his legs. He's taking off Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts is getting out of the pocket. He's using his mobileness or his mobility to extend plays, to make plays better. You're not just, okay, stay in the pocket, get hit. That's how RG3 died.
Yeah, trying to force him to become a pocket passer.
What are we talking about?
That's how his career. That's how his career was finished. And he started to revive his career, but
yeah,
because he came out, RG3 came out balling.
He was killing. I ain't gonna lie.
Blazing.
He's
Like
killing.
if RG3 was playing, how most mobile quarterbacks play in today's NFL back then, we wouldn't know who Kirk Cousins is.
You're right. That's why I be Lamar saying no, nah, though, because I don't think the Ravens care, man. I don't think so, man. They won't pay him whatever they want to pay him, and it's like, yeah, but go play. And everybody's like, what's wrong with Lamar? Like, why would he play right now? What is the reason for him to play?
You got to protect yourself sometimes, man. I think if you talk about injuries and like athletes with injuries, you can look back at like the whole Kawhi Leonard situation,
Exactly.
where he personally felt that he wasn't ready to go. And it was reported that they told him, yeah, you could play.
Yeah.
And he was like, no.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it goes back to,
It almost feels like a reverse situation for the Clippers, though. I feel like the Clippers kind of getting robbed at this point because, like, you win no championships with them other teams. But
not with this.
what's happening with us?
Yeah.
What's happening here?
Yeah. So, it's a double-edged sword, man. Like, it's different these days now as well because you see athletes, starting to take more ownership, and I'm all for that, like in terms of their careers and stuff like that. Like even TJ Watt, I might be misquoting, but I don't think he's been injured since he's been in the league until this year, where he decided to hold out for his contract, and then he missed a few games getting injured, and like stuff like that you never saw before. Like you had athletes just trying to grind, trying to say, oh, if I keep my head down and work hard at the meal, I'm going to get my check. But I think that's part of it. You know what I mean? Like, these athletes, they put their body on the line each and every day. And some of them are injury prone because some people just shape weird. But
well, we learned that today for sure.
But I don't know. It's a learning curve, man.
Do you feel like they invest in themselves health-wise as much as they need to? Like Tom Brady and LeBron and...
You gotta
Russell
remember,
Wilson.
You gotta remember. Not
That's
everyone.
right.
Not everyone got Tom Brady, LeBron, and Russell Wilson money to invest.
You're right, but it's like from the percentage of the money they have now. Do you think they're doing enough for their bodies?
I think they're doing to an extent, but I don't think it's only so much. If you ain't putting, like I said, if you ain't putting in a lot, if you ain't putting a big percentage into your body, then it's like you're doing nothing. What's a visit to what's a visit with a personal trainer and anything you need to do to uptake your body, right? Compared to actually going through the process of maintaining and hoping that your body is sustained throughout an entire season. 17 game season with the NFL, 82 with the NBA. Look at the 162 with baseball.
Yeah, but look at this though. We know the people who really. Some people have money. They show us they have money, and then they show us that, hey, I don't want to eat good. Charles Johnson eating McDonald's, DK eating candy every meal.
Yeah, Marshall and usually eat Skittles, but I guess
It's like it's still you still got to figure out your lifestyle too. So what works for you may not work for Prince. What works for Prince may not work for me. What works for me may not work for Justin, and so on and so forth. So it's not, you can't tell me to live like Justin. You can't tell me to live like you. You can't tell me to live like Prince because, you know, I'm me. And, you know, you got to do what's best for me or what I think is best for me. Even though I should invest into my body to help the longevity of my career, help longevity of my health. But sometimes that doesn't always happen the way we want it to happen.
Yeah.
And I think it's a little dicey, but I think we need to kind of look into it too. Like, are the teams doing enough? You know what I mean? Because
that's true.
considering, you know, LeBron pays close to like $2 million for his own upkeep. Tom Brady have the whole TB12 plan. Like, but these are people who make the top echelon of their sports. Like, for the regular player who is looking at a regular salary, which sounds asinine coming from a regular person, but for them, like, is the return on investment there, or are they just relying on the organizations that employ them to have these stopgaps in place and accessible to them to an extent where they shouldn't have to go the extra mile? Like, if you have an athlete that carries your franchise, that puts billions of dollars into your pocket, why does he then have to go and outsource for his own stuff?
I feel that way as well. But
So,
I mean, ain't nobody got your best interest like yourself.
Yeah, but it's so much. It's especially if you looking at football. So much people on the team, right? So if it's 53 persons on the team plus the 15 or so on the practice squad, not everyone probably isn't getting that TLC that they need to figure out what they need to completely uptake it. Yes, you may have you have to hire your own. That's why you see a lot of them go and hire their own nutritionist, their own personal trainer.
Yeah.
But
I showed the food in the football facility ain't that good.
there's not.
I just be eating hamburgers
It's-
and pizza and things. I'm like,
it's-
y'all serious? This
It's
what it
not,
now?
man. Like, we've all seen Aaron Donald. That man is built. He wasn't born. He was created. That dude made his wife his nutritionist. Like, she cooks all his meals. So it's stuff like that.
all that money you making.
When he was the highest one? And why don't y'all go
No, you don't have to hire someone. That's the smart. Like I say, that's the
Oh,
smart.
save
man.
his money.
I mean, it probably still is paid.
Justin, how much rings does Kawhi get if Kawhi was never injured?
The same amount.
Very
Sure.
well then.
No, because do the Spurs beat Kawhi? Well, do the Spurs beat the Warriors in that was 2017 or 2018?
I don't think so.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I don't
You
think
mean
so.
when your boy step on his foot, Jonathan Julio?
Yeah.
I don't think
I
so.
don't think so.
Like, they were
So,
doing well. But
I think the games go a little bit closer, but I don't think they
mean,
pull it off.
Who did the Warriors play in that final that year? There was the fourth time they played the Cavs, or it was the third
it
time?
was like I don't know what time they played the Cavs, but I know it's when they.
Yeah.
That was the time the Rockets went 7, right? With Chris Paul was healthy.
Yeah, no. But they played the Spurs in the final, the Western Conference Finals that year when he got injured.
I think that was first round.
27.
No.
No, that was second.
No, but his
That was
first kid in the
2018, bro.
conference finals, man. Kawhi did not
That was
carry
it. That
his
was
first
it.
that far.
No, but no, he did carry them that far. That's when he got injured.
No, but I think that was.
That was when he got injured.
The
He got,
conference finals, but
that
We'll
was
get
the
this
Western Conference Finals. Because then that's when they went on and sweep
I
them.
think so.
I trying to remember if it was
Kawhi by
2017.
himself?
Yes, and he had the Spurs up like 20 going into the fourth.
I think that was Western Conference Finals, Justin.
Now you could look it up.
2017. Game 1. Yeah, it was Western Conference Finals.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Spurs?
saying. Yes.
Yeah.
What?
that's crazy.
Yeah.
By
That
yourself?
was 17. That was 2017. Yeah.
Yeah, bro. Like it was
What?
one of them years.
That's insane.
So that might have gone 7. It may not,
That's crazy.
KD them didn't have the confidence yet.
So I'd be
they
even more mad if I was the Clippers.
Yeah, so
That explains it.
possibly
Yeah.
that could have been a ring attempt because he cut them through. Then he got injured the year the Suns went to the finals. So that's another
Yeah.
opportunity.
Exactly.
Right there. So at least he could have gone to the finals 2 more times added to what is his appearances right now.
That's crazy.
So, yeah.
It's actually kind of scary.
Are the Rockets with Chris Paul beating the Warriors in Game 7?
I mean, they could if they could hit shots.
That's a fair point.
No, but they shot awful that game. Bro.
So that actually brings up another point, right?
What's
So
that?
teams that, like I said, what we talked about with the 49ers, right? Teams that are investing in these quote unquote injury prone superstars, right?
Mm-hmm.
How much of a reliance are you doing on them? How much reliance are you putting into them to make your team better? Or like how much do you rely on them, knowing their history, knowing how they're injury prone?
If they a superstar, then especially basketball, probably even baseball.
No, but
I rely
some
on heavy.
teams put different comps in contracts. Like
No, but
Joel-
I'm saying
No, we talking about how much you relying
how
on
much you
that's
relying on them.
superstar.
Let's say you
Like not money wise, just
not
like
money wise,
ability.
but like ability wise. Like let's say you're a team, right? Let's say I don't want to use Chris Paul.
Dude's just gambling on stocks.
All right, I'll use Chris Paul,
You
right?
can use Derrick Rose.
All right.
Wow.
Okay, Derrick Rose,
Wow.
right? We know Derrick Rose injury pass, right?
Get it out
And
myself.
Derrick
Yeah.
Rose may be different from Chris
Get it
Paul,
out
but if
myself.
you are a team and you're investing in Chris Paul, and you're investing in Derrick Rose,
Most
how much of a
teams
reliance
don't,
are you doing on
but-
them?
People only hope. I don't think they rely on their injury prone superstar. They just hope that they could get a form close to their peak. Just like, okay, like the
That's
Derrick
some
Rose.
reliance.
I wouldn't say that because like
It's
the
more.
De-
I guess it's more with Chris Paul than it is with Derrick Rose at this
I
point.
mean, you could use Derrick Rose because I'm gonna bring up this. So Derrick Rose, it was 2015. That's when Jimmy started really to come into his own.
Mm-hmm.
And Derrick Rose and the Bulls played the Cavs in the playoffs, and that's when he had that game winner. He was
That's the one when LeBron hit the shot in the corner.
yeah. So he was somewhat serviceable as the go-to player that year. The next year, Jimmy started taking the reins. And it was like, that's why the Chicago Bulls traded him, because it was like, okay, well, we didn't know if we ever get prime Rose. So it's like, okay, if we have someone else who we can lean on more, that a little bit more stable and less injury prone. And even Jimmy, you could say Jimmy in Miami now. Jimmy gets injured.
But
and that's
if
what-
you're
that's
if
another
you're
one.
the team that traded for Rose,
Usage.
what if you're the team that traded for Rose? What are you expect? Like you said, you're expecting them to get to see if you get somewhat of their.
Yeah, but New York only needed extra scoring punch off the bench when they got him.
Yeah, I think most
Or
of
they needed a
most-
point guard or something like
I
that.
think most times is not necessarily. I don't want to say on a day-to-day basis because they would like them to play each and every game. I think it's just a particular area that they assume would get them over the hump. You know
I
what
think
I
I
mean?
think it's just the experience and them knowing what to do in the crunch.
Yeah.
Like game
Yeah.
management. Like, you know.
Like I said, it's just certain. I think it's just certain aspects that they assume would make their team better. Like, sorry to bring this back to football, but that's like a
Julio
team.
Jones, so the tight ends.
Yeah, that's like a team bringing in like an older injury-prone
Even like a
speedster
Odell, bro.
just to like
Now
stretch
the Cowboys
the
is
field.
freaking out. They're like, oh, that'll build morale in the locker room. Blah blah blah.
Let's not talk
No,
about
but Odell is a great example because he got injured in the Super Bowl after coming from an injury.
Yeah, and he
I
was
think-
balling in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I think that game wasn't going to be as close if
If
Odell
he didn't
was
play at
injured.
all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
However, but it
Oh,
was
you
like,
mean if he was for
yeah,
real,
because it was like they literally loaded up on one side
Yeah.
after he went down.
They couldn't, yeah.
So
Yeah.
it was like, you know, like if they had what's the quarterback name?
Stafford.
If Stafford had two receivers to work with, that game would have been over.
Yeah.
Because he literally had him and Cooper Cup. He just got to keep on throwing the Cooper Cup.
Stafford don't mind throwing the one receiver.
Yeah.
So essentially, it's not necessarily like the one player always trying
Yeah.
to get them over the hump. Sometimes it's just to take heat off of someone else.
It's
I guess.
sometimes it's a mental thing too. Because
Like
it's
in the
like,
naming.
yeah. Because even like, okay, before in Indiana, before Paul George really became his own, they had Danny Granger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like they was mad when they trade Danny Granger because Danny Granger used to be the top tier guy, but just having him around give everybody else assurance. Like, yeah, you might not could ball like how you used to, but
But
just
your name is Danny
having
Granger.
that
Danny, yeah.
leader and that presence goes a long way.
Yeah.
So you know,
Fair enough.
So at what point do you think like the value of the injury-prone player kind of devolves? Because like I guess it goes. it's probably different across esports. Just look at basketball. It's like you could get an injury-prone superstar, but if you only need him to come off the bench to hit a couple threes.
I mean,
like,
but that's
Is he a superstar though?
no, but a lot of times they don't be superstars. Okay,
Yeah,
a
that's
good
what I'm saying.
example of that is like Shannon Sharp on the 01 Ravens, or you have Bill Walton on the 86 Celtics.
One Ravens can emboss though. Let's be real.
Yeah, but
If they had an actual quarterback, he'd have been better.
yeah, but Shannon basically, you know, Hall of Fame player coming to the Ravens. They still win a ring with their defense or whatever, but just having that presence there to be
Yeah.
like someone who know how to win, or just having an added like sometimes just name alone
Yeah, something for
just
people to
change your
see for.
mentality a little bit. So like, you know,
I'd also say the value is when you can't produce on the same level. Like some injury-prone players, they get injured, come back, act like nothing happened. Steph Curry, of course, when he was injured early on, of course. So I think it comes with down to production.
yeah, but I think it's a mental thing though,
It's
because it's like if you get no matter how fast or how good you come back from injury, you still ain't gonna be the same player, bro.
It's like that
agree.
was my point. It's like how I think it's how well they adapt.
But if you can't produce, you can't produce.
It's how well they adapt to their body after
Exactly.
the injury, and being able to produce.
But if you do it continuously, like, I don't gotta be like,
But then too, like, because then
Nah, I know.
that goes from the question of like injury prone to just uses and age, like,
yeah.
because you know your game. In theory, your game should change over time because you're not gonna be the.
You have to
athletic
adapt.
freak. You should. A lot of LeBron. Anyway,
LeBron adapts. He learned his post game. He got a little bit 3-point now.
I personally feel like that 3-point shooting is literally just him chasing the scoring title. But anyway,
I mean,
Yeah.
it could be, but at least he trying.
Yeah, and then if you even watch how LeBron plays, like his running changed too.
yeah. His
Like if
running
you see
style.
how he ran when he first coming into not, it's almost
He picking his spots.
like he gallops to the rim.
yeah, he
like
gallops.
like it ain't a foot. It's
Yeah.
like big step,
Yeah,
big step,
longer
big
shots.
step. Like, you know, just to hurry up, get down, use my body, clip. a
You
little
know what
bit,
to do.
and then, you know.
Boy, that's 20 years of experience.
The
Yeah,
most
so,
optimum way to do it.
So, you know, it's just those small nuances, and that's why when Dr. Pender was asked, like, with athletes, sometimes it's just form or how you throw, how you turn, how you punch
Exactly.
your feet, you know, would make a whole lot of difference. And the great ones sort of get down to that fine detail to know how
Yep.
their body works and how this can turn, how that can turn. I know long distance jumper right now is trying to get back, and I think he had to switch. I think he is in the process now of switching his takeoff foot or his landing foot, because I think he broke his right foot or some. I think his right ankle, and it, like he was saying, it isn't the same. So he's now recalibrating his form to come off the left foot. So it's like, you know, it's like little tweaks
Yeah.
like that or whatever, like, you know, and, you know, getting back in shape and things like that, because certain injuries like an ankle injury, you really don't come back for, and depending on your sport, that's something that's hard to get back around.
Is that something you're always on? Like, there's no real rest period for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, or like, you know, if you, let's say golf or whatever, it's the disc in your back, you know.
Even like in baseball, if you're injured in baseball, or if a position, sometimes position's too intense, like if you go from center field to the outside, the left field and right field or something, shortstop, super intense. So you just go to third base. Pitchers, I know pitchers, you just unlucky.
Pitchers to go.
That's
You can go to bullpen.
They go to bullpen. So it's like
Yeah.
you still have the injury, but like you adapt into what you could do now.
Yeah. And if you still get hit it over, then we keeping you. So
Yeah, like baseball. I think baseball is probably baseball is probably the best sport for people like adapting with injuries, because there are so much different avenues. Whereas you can take stress off your body. They say going from short to third. Hell, even with the designated hitter now, if you
yeah.
that's the
even blaming people good.
that's the cop out right there. Okay, well you can run. Okay,
It's
just
just
hit it over the fence.
Just hit it.
And then
You just need a couple home runs every now and again.
Yeah.
I remember Troy Tulowitzki during career finished. Shortstop. They're right. Unlucky.
Yeah.
DeGrom, I don't know. DeGrom,
Like I said, so-
somebody. he gets injured every year. But he's still at the top of his game. I don't understand it.
So
I don't get it, but I don't get it. How does that make sense?
Because
Just-
you
some
got
people just ain't lucky.
some of them some people just gotta have the trade off, right? With DeGrom.
Yeah.
DeGrom is probably the one of the best pitchers we've seen of all time, but he's not been healthy throughout the entirety of his career. But imagine if he was healthy, this would have been a completely different
conversation.
So it's that it's the universe, like
Yeah.
it's the,
Balancing it
yeah,
off.
it's the universe balancing it off. You don't. It sounds bad, but yeah,
have to.
the universe
You have
the
to.
universe does it, right?
We talked about this.
We definitely talked about this.
You can't be explosive and healthy all the time.
Yeah,
No.
you can't be 6'4", running 4'3", and expect to always have your foot.
Yeah, football is one of them crazy sports.
Yeah,
that don't
the
make
universe.
sense.
The universe always gets what the universe deserves. So
It's
Yeah.
unfortunate, man.
But also, something we probably didn't. We skip over. Did we discuss stretching? The importance of stretching and how to properly warm up, like different parts
shoot,
of the
that
body.
was good for the first.
Yeah,
like, for the
'cause I
sound.
didn't- I
What
don't-
is that about?
Yeah, when we bring it back, we gotta talk about that.
Yeah,
I think
'Cause
we
it-
was talking about injury prevention in a way.
yeah.
gotta
Because I
dabble
learned
in
that.
it.
I learned that when I had like torn tissue in my left shoulder,
Uh-huh.
and I had to go like. Good place to go to back to to get my spine realigned like at least once a year. And like they was like, you muscle lock on this left side because you're torn tissue and things like that. So you have to remember like when you warm up, you gotta stretch when you warming up and when you cooling down, like how you sleep. You know,
A lot
stretching.
of people don't stretch when they're cooling down, and that's
Yeah.
like you always should stretch when you finish your
And
work.
doing long stretches
Life
too.
do the most.
I mean, and a lot of that too is I think some of the corrective exercises that she was talking about, like
Yeah.
adding those into your routine, like especially after like you go heavy, like add a corrective
Yeah,
exercise.
I don't
into
think
it.
a lot of people even know what that is.
Yeah, so it's just do like little things, like even some things with like your rotator cuff. So say like you're doing a chest day, like you pushing, like you got your shoulder kind of locked, you know.
Yeah.
So just eventually switch to some stuff for your rotator cuff. I mean, essentially it's an exercise, but essentially like doing this is literally just stretching out the muscles in your shoulder. You know what I mean? Like adding little stuff like that. I mean, it goes a long way.
It's kind of what we talking about the D line and O line earlier. It's like, bro, that's where most of the injuries happening. But
You don't
they
see
the
it.
tough guys. They the ones who's like, okay, I have a concussion, whatever. Ain't nobody even know. So I just come in the ball. I really care.
They banging heads just about every play.
Yeah.
But going back to like just like the superstars, right? If you want to call them superstars, whether or not, well, you have some reliance. You're putting some reliance into them, as in them helping you, like you say, like we've been saying, like get over the hump,
Yeah.
right? So
If you don't have them, you just have to find another way. That's all.
You gotta manufacture it, man. Sometimes
There's
you gotta
some
manufacture it.
who just fell off. There's some that,
All right,
I got it.
R.I.P.
Oh, Lord.
R.I.P. to Todd Gurley's career. Why you have to bring it up? Because that man was definitely a superstar.
He was ahead of McCaffrey and Saquon, if you ask me.
here's the hoping that we don't have to come back to this injury prone superstar. Hopefully the modern medicine helps limit this discussion topic, and that we can see a lot more people playing at their primes and at their peak for longer.
Yeah, man, it's just people taking ownership of their body, man. Because like you say, like the GOATs do it. Like the really, really great ones, they take care of themselves to the utmost.
Yeah.
And they'll be the first ones to tell you, like, hey, this feels off, so I have to adjust to do this.
Yeah.
Or this feels off, I have to adjust to do that. Whereas, I don't want to say the average, but most people, if something feels off, they just decide to push through.
Yeah.
Like, that's not the right way to do things, man. It's not how it works, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But unless anyone else has anything else to say.
I mean, hopefully Kawhi gets it, to back the full power for the Clippers. That's all I want to say.
There you have it, folks. Leave us your thoughts. Let us know how much reliance are you putting in a quote unquote injury prone superstar. Remember, if you're watching on YouTube, like, comment, and subscribe. If you're listening on any audio platform, hit us with a 5-star rating. Leave your comments. We appreciate the comments. We appreciate all the love and support that we've been getting in the season 2. Go back, watch season 1, comment on those videos so we can help drive us better.
Everything.
Yeah,
Whatever
we want to push out a good product. We don't. It's no such thing as a perfect product. We want to push out a good product. So leave your comments. Let us know what we can do better. Let us know what you guys want to see. And until next time, y'all stay safe. We appreciate you. And
see y'all next time.
Peace.
Peace.